Okay, welcome to the December 5th Thursday chat. We have a number of announcements. Matt is away at an industry meeting, and Jessica Coleman will be speaking for him and for herself. So again, we have a number of announcements. We'll start with Faye. Go ahead, Faye.
Well, first, I'm going to introduce two people who some of you may not know. One is Katie Ayer. And Katie, do you want to say something about yourself, just where you're from?
We came from Wayland, Mass. And I'm here with Bob, although he's out of town today. And we're very happy to be here.
Sounds good. So Stuart Bless, where are you?
Unmute.
Okay, I'll unmute. Stuart, this
good
is Stuart Bless, who's in a villa. Stuart, do you want to say where you're from?
Yeah, we're from, I'm here with Dottie, my wife Dottie. She can't join. She's recovering from some minor surgery. But in any case, we're from Natick. Before that, Wellesley. And we've been here for about 9 months, actually. We've been here since March.
Okay, very good. All right, and now my announcement is that I would like to remind you that next Thursday at 1 o'clock, leaving plenty of time before our community chat, there will be a Christmas Carol sing-along in Great Meadow Hall. Independent living, assisted living, and staff members are all welcome. And there will be cookies and hot chocolate, and we hope you will all come. Thank you.
Thank you. And now Barbara Goldstein.
Thank you, Jerry. I am going to give a short summary of the dining committee meeting that we had yesterday. This month, Nosh will be having a new menu for both lunch and dinner. It will be rolled out on Monday, December 16th. To facilitate and to train the staff, Nosh will be closed for dinner next Monday, December 9th, for a mock service. Many of the people who normally eat there have been invited in the dining committee so that the staff can get used to it. The lunch menu, the new lunch menu, will be available every day besides the specials, and the dinner menu will be highlighted on Monday, Wednesday, and Thursday. We will still continue with the Sunday buffet, the Turkey Tuesday buffet, and the Friday Shabbat dinner. We got a little bit of a preview of the new central menu. That new menu will be launched on January 13th. December is a very busy month with holidays and special programming and catering. And later on, Josh will give a whole explanation of what is happening there and how some of the dining changes hours will be changed. In January, we're hoping to launch a new online application for making reservations. It should be an easier system. It also should be helpful because it retains a lot of your information, so you don't have to type, once you type in your name, you won't have to type in everything all over again. It will remember you. We did have a long discussion on still one of the big issues of dining are people who make reservations, do not show, do not cancel, or if you have a party of 6 and suddenly 2 people aren't going to come and you don't let the dining room know, so we're down to 4. We're asking for the help of the entire community so that we can service as many residents as possible with availability in the dining room. If you have a change in number, and we know people get sick, things happen, but call down to the hostess stand because they will have people that said, wow, I'd love to come, but I can't get a reservation. And if we know your table went from 6 to 4, we now have availability to do a 2-top. So please abide by that. We all work together. We want to be as open and friendly as possible. So, Marlene, did you have a question for me?
Yeah, go ahead, Marlene.
I do. Do you have a date for the next, brunch?
I do not, but Josh may have it in his report. He's got more of the
Okay.
date events.
Well, yeah, I don't know if it's in the report when we go through the thing, but to answer your question, that will be in Centro, the next brunch on December 25th, Christmas and Hanukkah Day.
Oh, thank you.
No,
Okay, thank you.
thank you, Jerry.
On to Toby Levine.
Thank you, Jerry. I have some very exciting news to share with you on behalf of the Scholarship Fund. A very generous resident has donated $10,000 to support a match, so you can double your impact and double our fund. All donations of $250 or more made before December 31st, 2024 will be matched dollar for dollar. You will find a contribution box at the concierge desk, so be as generous as you can. Thank you, Jerry.
Thank you. Judith Weinberg.
Thank you, Jerry. Last year, the Community Outreach Committee and the Quinnipiac Quilters, which is the local quilting guild, sponsored a program, Make a Heart, Give a Heart, and it's being brought back by popular demand. 32 Newbridge residents and QQ sewers met in the art room to make 60 heart-shaped pillows that were distributed to patients at the BI breast cancer clinics in Needham and Boston. Last year's event was a successfully wild and woolly experiment. We learned a lot from that. And this year we will be offering 3 opportunities to take part. All of the activities will take place in the NBOC art room. On Sunday, December 15th, not this Sunday, but the following Sunday, we will be meeting to cut fabric squares to size. These squares will be then sent to the Quinnipiac Quilters, who have a cutting machine that will cut heart shapes accurately. That'll make our lives a lot easier this time. Following that, we're hosting 2 sewing and assembling days. The first one on Sunday, January 5th, and then February 2nd, also from 1 to 3. Each of these sessions will be limited to 20 persons and registration is required. Tea time with a heart-shaped treat will follow the working sessions. I will be sending this information to the Google group for the December event and following it with a hot pink flyer that gives further information about registration and how it all works. I will show you quickly a sample. Here it is. Okay. This is the flat heart shape, and we sew those together. There's a hole here to stuff. And when that's stuffed, we close it up, and then we have people who package them. So I didn't have any stuffing left, so I couldn't show you that. So thank you very much. And I look forward to seeing many of you at one, if not more, than one of these events. Thank you.
Thank you. Bruce Thorner.
I did okay.
Bruce Thorner. She's not here. Guess not.
No.
Okay, Linda Weinstein.
Thanks, Jerry. All these wonderful activities that we have at Newbridge are going to be challenged in the future if we don't pay more attention to climate change. I know you've heard that message before, but at any rate, we have 2 opportunities to tune into what's going on. One is on Friday, that's tomorrow at 1 o'clock. We have a regular team climate meeting. But this team climate meeting, we're having a guest by the name of Bert Jaffe, who is lives in another CCRC and who writes a wonderful newsletter and is really fun to talk to. So if you want to just come and listen in, no commitment, that's from 1 to 2 in the synagogue tomorrow, Friday. And on Monday, thanks to Bob Ayer, we are going to have our 2 p.m. talk, and it's going to be Dr. Muma, who is a retired climate scientist and a man of great knowledge and repute and an excellent speaker. He was on during coronavirus. He spoke to us online, and now he's going to be here in person. So that's at 2:00. So we invite you all to join us.
Okay, thank
Bring a
you.
new resident if you can.
Bonnie Rosenberg.
Thank you so much, Jerry. With pleasure, I am inviting all of you to join us at the Newbridge Interfaith Holiday Dinner, which will be on Thursday, December 19th at 5:30 p.m. The theme of this year's event is Reflecting Back and Shining Forward. Many of you remember our beloved resident Evelyn Botkin, who was honored posthumously at last year's Interfaith Dinner for her commitment and leadership of social action and for creating Newbridge's Interfaith event. This year, we are not only reflecting back, but we are shining our lights forward, and we are coming together as one community, connected and deeply committed to ensure respect, friendship, and inclusion for all. When Josh gets to speak, he'll give you all of the details for signing up for the Interfaith Dinner. He'll tell you about the menu. He'll tell you where you can list some of your friends who you might like to sit with. And you can start to sign up right after our meeting. I'd like to suggest holding any questions until after we hear from Josh, but just know that Sharon Gavia, Betty Shapiro, Sandy Sherazin, and I will be available to answer any further questions that you might have about this very special event upcoming. And we will be getting ready to celebrate the unity and sacredness of this wonderful community. December 19th, Thursday. Thank you, Jerry.
Thank you, Bonnie. And Prue Thorne is here now. Go ahead, Prue. Carol,
Jerry.
I'll take you in a minute.
Hi, Jerry. Thank you. Sorry to be late. I just wanted to clarify that the nonfiction reading group will be meeting in December, not January, as I put out in an email. It's going to be on Friday, the 27th of December at 2:00. The meeting takes place in the library. Everybody is welcome. It's not a women's group. It's not a men's group. I think it's the only non-denominational reading group. And the main thing we have in common is that we're reading nonfiction. The coming book that we're going to be reading is called The Confidant. It's about a woman who was instrumental in changing a lot of the social conditions and labor laws in the 30s and 40s. So it's a very interesting book. Everybody's welcome. And please come with ideas for future nonfiction book reading. So Judith Kahn is going to be leading the discussion, and we hope to see some new members or new people joining us. Thank you, Jerry.
Thanks. Carol, you had a question? Unmute.
Okay.
I
unmuted
you. Now, can you hear me?
Yes.
Okay, great. I'm not sure I don't see on the bottom how I can say to you that I have something to say, but it's about the fireside chat this Sunday. Last Sunday, we had a little confusion. It had been canceled, but it really wasn't and on the program. But this Sunday, there is a fireside chat. And for those of you who haven't participated, it's really a lot of fun. We get together at 3:30 in the afternoon around the fire. And we just sit and talk, and we just have a very pleasant time. And I encourage everyone to come. It's just a nice thing to do on a Sunday afternoon. We're winding down from a weekend, and sometimes quiet and nothing much to do. And so getting together is a very positive way to reinforce our community and feel part of something bigger. So I urge all of you to come. Thank you.
Thank you. Carol, if you want to be on the question making announcements, the procedure is you'd send me an email the
Oh,
day
okay,
or the morning before.
okay, fine.
Plan how many people and what might be a problem. Okay, thank you for the announcement. Betty Shapiro.
Thanks, Jerry. Hi, everyone. This is just a reminder that it's Potato Latke Mix collection time. Yes, it's that time again. What's this all about, you might be asking? Well, briefly, the Volunteer Outreach Committee has had for many years as one of its projects the collection of potato latke mix 3 times a year: Passover, Rosh Hashanah, and Hanukkah. We do this in conjunction with the Jewish Child and Family Services in Waltham. They run the Family Table, the only kosher food bank in the Boston area. Over 100 organizations participate in this, each with its own specific collection. Ours is potato latke mix. So please put potato latke mix on your shopping list. Any brand is okay. Almost all stores carry one brand or another. If you can find the low sodium version, that is the preference. The Nosh store is currently out of stock, but you can order online now, and I'm told that it may not arrive in time for our delivery on next Monday. However, if you do want to order online and participate, it would be perfectly fine to have it sent to me directly at 27 Greystone Path, and I will be happy to make another delivery later when we get some more, because right now our supply is very meager. The collection's only on for a few more days to make sure that they have the materials ready for Hanukkah. But as I say, I'm willing to make another drive over to Waltham to deliver more. The collection box is located right near the entrance to the Nosh store. And please remember that it's latke mix only. No money and no other products. We here don't have to worry where our next meal is coming from, but there are many hundreds who do. So let's help them as best we can. Thanks.
What is your address?
27 Greystone Path. We're cottage 27.
Okay. Thank you. Tara Fleming Caruso.
Hello, everyone. Happy Thursday. Happy first snow, if you like snow. I am sharing a message on behalf of Bonnie Eads, programming expert in assisted living, and Lenore Lipworth, resident of assisted living. They are hosting a small gathering called A Lunch and Learn next Thursday, December 12th at 12 noon. And the goal is just to gather and have casual conversation and a meal and share information about life in assisted living. So the funny thing about meals in assisted living is that you never have to make a reservation, but you do for this because they're limiting the number of people. So if you are interested, you would RSVP at 49404. Thanks so much.
Thanks, Tara. And now Josh and Eileen, and you're set up, Josh, to share your screen.
I saw that, Jerry. Thank you very much. I do have quite a bit to cover, so I'll be a little lengthier than usual, and I thank everyone in advance for their patience. As Bonnie had mentioned, very excited to announce the interfaith menu and the online RSVP process, which I will review. Before I get into that, though, I wanted to thank Barbara for her recap of the dining committee meeting yesterday. And I also want to thank the entire dining committee themselves as well. In addition to the 2 hours, that we meet every month, many of the dining committee members support our team in many different ways. Examples are proofreading things that go out with communication, following up on feedback and resident surveys. So I just want to really thank the dining committee for all their hard work and support. It's a really great relationship. So thank you. I also want to acknowledge last night in Centro. For those of you that dined with us in Centro last night, we definitely struggled and had some service issues. So I just want to acknowledge and apologize for that on behalf of the team. and certainly not here to make any excuses, but I think a little bit of know why might be important. Many of you may not realize that some of these staff that appear to be new that we see on certain nights are actually temporary staffing from a agency that we use called InstaWorks. They are able in advance or even at the moment's notice, able to pick up shifts when people are out unexpectedly, whether it be an illness, an injury, which we have a couple staff out currently on those, covering vacations and the unanticipated voids that they fill. It's very beneficial, but if I can use a sports analogy, if you can imagine your star players for whatever sport you watch, soccer, football, hockey, whatever it may be, your star players are out, and instead of pulling from your bench, which you don't have a bench, you have to borrow from other teams. They know the sport, but they may not know your specific plays and equipment and how you do things. So they're jumping in, having a great background, but they still have to get acclimated to how we do things here. So I just wanted to offer that's what we struggle with when we have illnesses, injuries, absences, vacations, and we're covering those. And again, I want to personally apologize for the service last night in Centro, and we will make the improvements that we need to not repeat that performance again. So thank you. Now, on a very positive note, I want to talk about this busy December, starting with the Interfaith Holiday Dinner. This is a wonderful event. I'm going to walk through the process of showing you the menu and the online RSVP and ordering process. So in a moment, I'm going to share my screen and show you how you can access all of this information with a click of a couple buttons on the dining website. So just give me a moment to share. So here I am currently at the dining website. Jerry, can you see my screen okay?
That's working fine.
Wonderful. So I'm going to show you a couple different ways, but what I've done is on the main screen. So when you pull up the dining website, nbocdine.org, whether you go through the community app or you have it saved on your desktop, there's actually a button labeled Interfaith Dinner. So this is how I'm going to start to show you how you can view the menu and register for the Interfaith Dinner. So we have a little bit of Interfaith Holiday Dinner, the theme reflecting back, shining forward. It is free to use this ticket system, but you will be charged for the meal that you choose, which I will explain in just a moment. So as we scroll down, if you're on the website, you're going to be able to see the date, the time, and the menu. This will help you as you navigate when you decide to sign up and make your menu choices. So we have the salad and bread. You do not need to select. It will be on the table automatically. You'll make a selection of 3 entree choices, the filet, the halibut, or the vegetable Wellington. Both the halibut and vegetable Wellington will be available as a kosher option, which I will also cover as we go through this. And then you'll make your dessert selection, whether you order the chocolate mousse cake or fresh fruit plate. And for those of you that attended last year, this is a very similar menu to last year. Couple of notes here, just general information. It explains that the Newbridge Independent Living and Assisted Living residents are invited to join. It talks a little bit about the theme. As Bonnie mentioned, the celebration begins at 5:30, but the doors will open at 5:15. In a moment, I'm going to show you how to select your meal options. You will select for your household only. Kosher options are available, as I mentioned, and the registration will be open through Friday, December 14th. Although your subtotal will show as $0 when you check out, your credit account, your meal credit, will be charged based on your meal selections. You may request to be seated with other residents prior to submitting your order. I will show you that as well. And actually, a list of residents attending will be accessible for those who choose to have their name shared. If someone wants to opt out and doesn't want anyone to know they're attending, that is an option. But if they are attending and they don't opt out, you will be able to see who's attending. So you may want to, throw their name if you want to be seated with them. For technical issues or support, you're going to be able to contact myself or Steve O'Hara at the concierge desk. Our numbers are there, and we can help with any technical support, issues, or just walking you through the process if you have any questions. You will receive an email confirmation for your order, and charges will process 48 hours prior to the event. And for unforeseen circumstances that lead to cancellation requests, just reach out to me. Let me know that you need to cancel, and we'll have that conversation. So here we'll get into how do we order. I'm going to order for myself and someone else because some of us have single households and some of us, but you are only ordering for your house only. You're not ordering for other residents, just those of you in your household. So I'm going to choose a filet, and my other guest that'll be joining with me is going to have the halibut. Once I've selected how many people are joining and their entree, I'm going to click on Get Tickets. Okay, so this is already showing me what I've started here. And as I scroll down, attendee 1, the filet mignon, that is going to be me. So I'm going to say Josh Ferraro. I'm in unit 911. Again, the starter course is automatic cranberry bread and seasonal salad. It's included with the meal. You do not need to make a selection. You do need to choose which dessert you would like. So I'm going to go with chocolate mousse. And any residents you wish to be seated, I think I'll see if I can sit with Jerry. So maybe Jerry will allow me to sit with him at this event. All right, great. So now I'm ordering again. I'm in a dual household, so I'm going to order for my partner, Eileen, who lives in the same hallway, not household here, but for this purpose, we'll say that she's dining with me. Okay. Again, the unit number. Eileen is going to make a kosher request. So because it's the halibut, if she wants her meal prepared kosher, she can select yes. Again, you do not need to select the starter. And then Eileen just needs to choose whether she's going to have the chocolate mousse cake. She told me she wanted fruit. Again, we're going to ask to be seated with Jerry Weiner. And that's pretty close to the end of that. So I'm going to check out now. Now, billing details. So you do have to enter a name again. And the reason for this is you will get an email confirmation and confirm that your unit will be billed for the meals that you are choosing. So I'm going to enter my email address. If you've used this before, some of this may auto-populate for you, which is great. I am reviewing my order here. That's right. I ordered 1 filet and 1 halibut. Once I've confirmed that's okay, if there was an issue, I could go here and return to cart. And I'm going to go ahead and place my order. All right. Now this has now checked out. In addition to this screen, if you entered your email correctly, you will receive an email confirming your order. And that's it as far as I cover now. Jerry, because I have some other things to cover and I see a hand up, is it okay if I take a pause and answer any questions about this particular process?
Right. Let's take down your screen so we make sure we get everybody. Okay.
All right.
Mayor Fine, because some people don't know how to use the raise hand.
So Josh, the appetizers and the desserts, are they all kosher?
They can be made kosher. If you make a kosher selection, your meal will be able to be prepared kosher. That is correct, Mayor.
So it'll include everything.
Correct. Thank you. Very good question, Mayor. Yes. If you do kosher request, which it's not available on the filet because you can't order the filet and have a kosher meal, but on the halibut and vegetable Wellington, if you choose kosher, everything will be prepared kosher for that particular Mayor. Yes, correct.
Okay, and now Sandy Macy. Unmute, Sandy. Yeah. Go ahead.
I would like the website address, please. I didn't get it at the beginning.
Sure. Why don't I enter it into the chat, but it's nbocdine.org. And for those of you that use the community app, there is a link to the dining website directly through the community app as well. But I will nbocdine.org. Okay. Thank you. Very good question.
Josh.
You're very welcome.
Charlie Small.
Hi, Josh. I just wanted you to know that I used the system. It went very well, no problems at all. I did want to comment about one little thing in it that can be confusing for some people. It says at the end, once everything's come through, it says you'll receive your tickets in another email. My understanding is there is no other email other than this confirming email. So that could be confusing for some people.
Hey, Charlie, let's sidebar on that because when I tested, I did get 2 emails. So I don't know if check your spam. But again, I want to reiterate, this system is not designed specifically for this application. I'm kind of using a plugin. So the tickets are not required. It's just an email confirmation. Charlie, it's a great point and I appreciate it, but I don't want anyone worried that you have to bring a ticket down. We're going to have you on a list. All this information I can extrapolate with one button and see everybody who's signed up, what they've ordered, and who they want to sit with. So this system really helps us get ourselves organized with a lot less bandwidth to put the information together. So great point, Charlie. Thank you.
Okay.
Bonnie Rosenberg.
Josh, I just want to confirm that there'll be tables of 10 for this dinner. So when you're thinking about who you might want to sit with, just so people have that in mind.
That is my understanding, unless I'm working obviously with members who are putting this together. That would be the maximum if they're comfortable with tables of 10. If anyone knows it's supposed to be smaller, but that was my understanding, tables of 10. That's a great point as well, Bonnie, and I'll add that to the notes.
Elaine Oppenheim.
Right, Josh, I need to know, those of us who don't go online, how do we make a reservation? Do we call Centro? Do we call somebody on the committee? What do we do?
No, you'll call myself or Steve, the concierge. Steve and I are going to make ourselves available to either walk you through the process if you are comfortable in learning it. And for those of you that just don't use technology at all, we can just ask you the questions and we can, pretend to be you and sign you up. I do encourage many residents, though, to at least give it a try if you haven't before. We're here to support, but for those of you that just don't, we will be here. We will not exclude anybody because of either they choose not to or don't have the technology. We will support myself and Steve.
All right. Thanks, Josh. Thank you.
Pleasure. Thank you.
Michael, did you have it? Michael Ross?
Yes, quick question, Josh. In the example that you showed us, you only put in the choice of menu for one person. Will the system give us the option to put in the meal for the second person as well?
No, I did. I ordered halibut for Eileen.
But you didn't actually enter it at any point there. That's why I'm asking.
Okay, that's a good question. And in case it comes up, I'm going to share my screen again. Okay. Excuse me one moment. Sorry, I just got to move some things around. So let me go back. When you're purchasing the tickets is when you're actually choosing the entree course. The other additions are kind of supplementary. Let me show you what I mean. Here is where you're choosing. I chose the filet for myself and I chose the halibut for Eileen.
Right.
Does that answer your question, Michael?
You then went down below and entered your name and your choice of filet.
Attendee 1, yep. So hold on, let me walk through that. Yep, so here I am, attendee 1, and I might have gone too fast, and for that I apologize. Yep. And then attendee 2 right here is where I entered Eileen.
It did. Okay, yep. I'm sorry.
No, don't be. These are the types of questions.
They both say attendee 1, though.
Yes.
Ah, okay. Let me see if I can reprogram that because that could certainly be confusing. And thank you for that. So they both say attendee 1. I don't know that I will be able to change that. There are just some things that this plugin has already programmed that are not adaptable or you can't change.
Okay, thanks. Judith Kahn.
Hi, Josh. Hi, everybody. What are the dining options if you are not attending the dinner?
That's a great question. So that actually, this is a great segue. If I may take that question, Judith, and show something in addition on the website, that would be wonderful. So thank you for that.
Sure.
Okay, so I'm going to go back all the way to the beginning. nbocdine.org. So on the homepage of the dining website. And some of this information will also be included in the dining packet that goes out in paper tomorrow and electronically here, the dining weekly dining packet that will get updated tomorrow. We have a button that says holiday dining. This is just a brief summary of the upcoming dates and when there are operational dining changes. More specific information, similar to the Interfaith Dinner, will come out and be available as the dates approach. But to answer your specific question, Judith, Thursday, December 19th, Interfaith Dinner in Great Meadow Hall at 5. Centro is closed for in-person dining. The Centro menu will be available for takeout only if you place it by 2 p.m. as usual. And Nosh is open for regular dining hours. So when we have an operational change on a particular evening through December and into New Year's, this summary, again, which will be included in the weekly dining packet, highlights those operational changes. Is everyone okay with that? Jerry, can I move on? I just a couple more things to share, and then I know I've taken up a lot of time, if that's okay.
This has been very important and informative, so go ahead.
Great. So finally, what I want to show is some additional upcoming events. So again, if you're on the homepage when you open the dining website, there's a click of a button that says upcoming event. As I scroll down, it shows theme nights. Interfaith Dinner will be here, which we've already covered. But some things that I want to cover in particular, I think Barbara covered it, but Monday, December 9th, Nosh dinner service training. Nosh will be closed for in-person dining starting at 4. Dinner menu is available for takeout if placed by 2 p.m. We also have the kosher dairy night coming up. All right, so this highlights the menu is here. So if I were to click either on the menu or on the event itself, I can see the menu for dairy night, and it even gives me the instructions here on how I can reserve by calling Nosh. Okay, and this just, again, shows the dairy night menu in Great Meadow Hall. And again, just reiterates the instructions if you want to attend. I just call Nosh at extension 49101. Dairy night, holiday dinner schedule, Interfaith Dinner. Just checking my notes. I think I've covered everything, Jerry. And if there aren't any more questions, and I really appreciate the extra time today, Jerry. Thank you so much.
I have a question.
Go ahead.
And that is, if you sign up to attend the Interfaith Dinner, but you don't yet know who you are going to be eating with, and you want to later on indicate who you want to eat with, how do you do that?
That's a good question, Faye. I mean, it's easier to make your plans and then sign up and make your meal selections and talk to your fellow diners. That is similar to a last minute cancellation. If something were to come up, if someone were to get ill after they reserved, that's probably going to be a call to myself or Steve at the concierge desk. So those types of one-offs, but I would really like, it's going to be much easier to manage this and grab this information out of the system if we do our best as a community to plan ahead. But we certainly understand there'll be last minute changes. You know, if you are going to dine with someone and then they change their plans, you might have to reconstruct who you're going to dine with. And that's what Steve and I are here to support.
But what I remember is there were times when there were no more places at the Interfaith. And if you waited until you made arrangements, you could lose. You might not get to go at all.
Well, we're capping it out at 100 for now. I mean, the Great Meadow Hall has a maximum seat. So I do understand, Faye. So I would say if you're worried about that, you would sign up and you would just put your seating request, who you think you might want to sit with, and whether or not we accommodate that or they join, you know, at least you'll have a spot in the room. I think the most important piece is being in the room, having the holiday dinner, and I think the seating preference becomes secondary at that point. So I would recommend signing up if you think, you know, you might, who you've dined with in the past, and then we can try and figure it out. That would be my recommendation, Faye.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you.
Barbara Nadich.
You partly answered the question, but if you just want to sit with anyone, should you indicate that? Sit with anyone?
You can do it. It says optional, so you can leave it blank. It is not some items are required, like you have to make certain selections. That is not one of them. The kosher request and the seating preference are not required. If you leave them blank, then we just move on, and yeah, we'll surprise who you're sitting with. Maybe myself and Eileen, Barbara.
Oh, that would be fun. Thanks.
You're welcome.
Okay. You're done. I think Eileen was going to say something as well.
I think I covered Eileen, Jerry. Thank you. She was doing tasting and covering for me because she knew I'd be on a little longer than usual. So I believe we're covered.
Okay, great. Then thank you very much for a very informative presentation. And we'll move on to Jessica Coleman. Go ahead.
Thank you, Jerry. Hi, everybody. First, I hope everyone had a great Thanksgiving last week. I really want to thank the culinary team who did a great job. I heard a lot of feedback that the buffets were wonderful. And also, I don't know if this team knows, but anytime that there is a major holiday like that and we have staff that are working, the culinary team not only cooks and serves for the residents, but they also do it for all the staff who are on site. So the staff actually get treated to a wonderful lunch with all the fix-ins, and it's just very meaningful for them to get that acknowledgement for coming into work. So thank you to Josh and his team for that. On another topic, I do want to mention, I'm sure a lot of you have noticed that Larissa Levitch, our program director, has not been here the last few weeks. With her permission, I do want to share that she is currently on a medical leave. So she's okay, but I do not have a date or time that she will be back. As I get more information, I will share it as appropriate with her. But I did just want everyone to know because a lot of people are reaching out asking if she's okay, and she is okay, but she's going to be out for a little bit. So with that, if there's any items that you would typically go to Larissa with, you can go to Nancy Vega and myself. Nancy has been unbelievable and has been carrying the torch for the last 3 weeks. So I'd like to spread the wealth a little bit. So if you're needing items, if you want to email Nancy and myself, and that way we can kind of divide and conquer, I think that would be great. And I really thank everyone's in advance for your understanding if maybe somebody doesn't respond right away or if there's a little blip. I do thank you because, as you know, Larissa has a very large role here on campus, and Nancy has been wonderful filling her shoes, but I'm just asking for a little patience as well as we kind of get back on track. Additionally, we have some great news on campus. We now have 2 new Tesla YS models. I don't know if you've seen them, but they are beautiful. One is a very dark blue color and the other one is like a charcoal gray. But of course, everyone knows the importance of electric vehicles, and we're so happy to add 2 more to our team. And especially as some of our vehicles we've had since we've opened. So they're kind of coming to end of life. They're requiring a lot more maintenance. So now that we have these 2 new electric ones, it's going to be super helpful. And I want to thank Barbara Goldstein for giving us that great report from the dining committee meeting. I wanted to add just something else about dining that we're getting a lot of feedback about, and that is single residents sometimes having a hard time making reservations, for one, or putting themselves out there to ask to sit with someone at meals. So I was going to put out, if somebody has an open seat, if maybe you usually dine with 2 and you could extend the invite to someone. I know a lot of times on the Google groups, people will say, hey, I have a couple extra seats, but I think reaching out, especially if maybe you don't see people in the dining room as much, giving a reach out to them to see if they would like to join you would be super helpful and just build an even greater community. Another thank you that I have is for the Appreciation Committee. So it has been unbelievable the amount of support that our staff have received from everyone on campus's generosity. And it just means so much to our staff, especially before the holidays, just receiving that extra check. It really sets us apart from a lot of other communities that everyone is so generous and giving, and the staff just appreciate it probably more than we all know. So I just wanted to say thank you And we really appreciate that committee so much. Lastly, the last item we have is that next week, Kone, our elevator company, and the state will be in to do an inspection. This is a mandatory test that happens every year. Tomorrow in Matt's letter, there will actually be a schedule of what elevator and what time that the inspection will be taking place. Please pay attention to it because during that time, the elevator will not be in use. They'll have to shut down the elevator for a very short period of time while they do the testing, and then it will be back up and running. But there will be a schedule sent out tomorrow. If everyone could just look and just make sure that they're aware of the times. They do try to do it early in the morning, so around 7, 8:30, but it can run for a little bit. So if everyone could just be mindful of that. But otherwise, Matt is at a conference and we knew Josh kind of had a lot to cover. So that is all I have for announcements, but I am happy to take any questions.
Any questions? Any other announcements that people forgot to ask to be able to give? Okay, we'll see you next week. Thank you very much.
Thank you.